Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial on HTML, HSL and HSLA colors. In this video we are going to explore a different and often more intuitive way to work with colors in web development. By the end of this tutorial you will have a complete understanding of HSL and HSLA color systems and how to use them effectively in your projects. So let's begin by understanding what HSL actually means. So HSL is an acronym that stands for, let me write here, HSL is an acronym and it stands for hue, saturation and lightness. Okay, so these three components work together to define any color you can imagine. So now HSLA is an extension of HSL. Okay, so HSLA is an extension of HSL. Okay, so it's in this HSLA, A stands for, now it makes sense. Okay, so we will explore both HSL and HSLA in detail throughout this tutorial. So in HTML and CSS, you can specify a color using the HSL format. So the syntax looks like this. For example, if we are going to use the HSL format, then the syntax would be, let me write here, the syntax, for example, in this way, HSL, and then in the parentheses, there will be hue, saturation, okay. So in this way the syntax of HSL comes. So here is the important part. Hue is measured in degrees on the color wheel ranging from 0 to 360. Let me explain what these degrees value represents. For example, this when you are at 0 degrees we get red. This is our starting point on the color wheel. And when we are at 120 degrees we get green. If you imagine the color wheel as a circle, green is positioned 1/3 of the way around from red. So when we are at the 240 degrees we get blue, and when we are at finally at the 360 degrees we are back to the red again because we have completed the full circle. But it doesn't stop at just these three primary colors. You can use any degree value from 0 to 360 to access the entire spectrum of colors. So for example, 60 degrees gives you yellow, and when you use 180 degrees gives you cyan, 300 degrees gives you magenta, and 30 degrees give you orange, 270 degrees give you a purple blue color, and 150 degree give you a blue green color. So the beauty of using degrees is that it follows the natural color wheel that artists and designers have used for centuries. As you move around the wheel, colors transition smoothly from one to another. Okay. So saturation is the second value in the HSL format and it controls. We have discussed the hue. Now we will move with the saturation, and it controls the intensity or purity of the color. So saturation is expressed as a percentage value. Okay. So lightness, the third component, is a third value in the HSL format and it controls how light or dark the color appears. Like saturation, lightness is also expressed as a percentage value. It is also expressed with the percentage value. Okay, so now let's work through several practical examples to help you understand how these three components work together. For example, we have here two headings, h1 first, and now we are going to use the style attribute. Then we are going to assign it the value background color, and here I'm going to use HSL. Okay, when you use HSL by default it comes with the hue, saturation and lightness. So to create a pure vibrant red, if I want a vibrant red pure color, then I will have to write here 0. Saturation I have to write here 100%. Okay, so the next, in place of lightness I have to write here 50%. When you write this you will get a vibrant red color. So in this understand this code here. Hue, here you can see, is the 0. So 0 degrees, which is red on the color wheel, saturation is 100, giving us the fullest most intense version. So lightness is 50, showing the true color without being too dark or too light. Okay, for example, if I want a pure green color, okay, so to get a pure green color, just change the values. I'm gonna use here 120 and 150, so you can get the pure vibrant green color. So 120 degrees, which is green on the color wheel, and saturation is 100% for maximum color intensity, and light here is 50%. So if you want to get a pure vibrant blue color, just change the values 120 to 240. So you will get the pure vibrant blue color, as you can see in the preview tab. Okay. So if you want a gray tones, like, then what do you have to do? Here you will have to write 0, and then in place of 100 also it will be 0, and when you write this you will get a medium gray color. Okay, so when the saturation is at 0, the hue value becomes irrelevant. You could use any hue value, like 0, 120, 240, or any other number, and you would still get the same shade of gray, determined solely by the lightness percentage. Okay, so if we want to create a black color, like, then we'll have to use here 0 and 0, and here I'll have to use the 0 2. Here it's black. So if you could use the 120, like I want to use here 120, and then if I use here 50. Okay, so if I use here 50 and I use here 0, it also black. And if I use here, for example, 240, okay, 240, and then I use here 100% saturation, and here again the 0. So all of these create black because lightness is at 0. When the lightness is 0, nothing else matters. You always get black. Okay. So in this way, you can get different types of colors by using the HSL. And now let's discuss the HSLA. First of all, let's bring the style attribute and then background color. And then in the background color, we are going to use some different extensions. As you can see, we have already told you that HSLA, which extends HSL by adding an alpha channel for opacity control. So HSLA format looks like this. It means that, let me write here HSL syntax. So HSL syntax looks like, first of all, there would be like hue, and there would be saturation, and there would be lightness, and then there would be alpha. So the alpha, it means A in HSL stands for alpha. Okay, the alpha value controls the transparency or opacity of the color. It's expressed as a decimal number from 0 to 1, as a percentage from 0% to 100%. Okay, for example, if we want to create here the color, for example, HSLA, and then we use, as you can see in the hue, I want to write here 0, and in place of saturation I want to write here 100%, and in place of lightness I want to write here 50%. Okay, and in place of alpha I want to write here 0.5. So this creates a vibrant red that's 50% transparent. If you place this over a white background, it will appear as a lighter red. If you place it over the other colors, it will blend with them. Okay, so in this way you can create different types of colors by using the HSL and HSLA method, and you can bring the colors into your HTML page. So HSL is excellent for creating smooth color transitions and animations. You can animate the hue value to create a rainbow effect, or animate saturation to make colors pulse and fade. These transitions are more predictable and controllable with the HSL than with the RGB. So HSL makes it easier to ensure sufficient contrast for accessibility. And when you talk about HSLA, it is much more, it means it is very important than the HSL. So in this way you can add different types of colors into your HTML page. So we have learned about HSL and HSLA colors, and as you know that HSL stands for hue, saturation and lightness, and HSLA stands for hue, saturation, lightness and alpha. Okay, so Now you have a complete knowledge of HSL and HSLA colors in HTML and CSS. You understand what each component means, how to use them together, and when HSL is the best choice for your projects. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more web development content. If you have any questions about HSL, HSLA, or anything else related to HTML and CSS, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll be happy to help. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.